The last part of your spreadsheet is to help you figure out if you are within budget. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to figure out your total expenses. So you're going to have a heading that says total expenses. To the right of that, in the very next column, you're going to place your cursor and we're going to have a formula. So we start a formula with an equal sign. And this is your total expenses. Because we have fixed expenses and variable, we want to add those together so we can see a total number of our outgoing money. And we're going to use a cell reference. So I'm going to click on the cell that contains my total fixed expenses. And I'm going to add, so Shift plus, my total variable expenses. So I click on the cell that contains my total variable. So it will end up being equal sign B22 plus B33, wherever your total amounts for each of those appear. And I hit enter to confirm. For my net income, that means my total income minus all of my expenses. So I'm going to hit my equal sign. I'm going to scroll up to my total income. And I'm going to click on that cell that contains the number of my total income. And I'm going to subtract, so my minus sign, scroll back down, my total expenses, click on that cell, and hit enter. Okay, that number is probably going to be a positive number. It can't be a negative. That means you're not living within your budget. If it's a negative number, then you have to go figure out, maybe you need a roommate, maybe you need to live in somewhere cheaper, maybe you need to cut out your entertainment, something like that. If it is a positive number, you're going to add that number back into your savings. So I'm going to delete this so you can see. I have $1,141 left over. That's fabulous. That's money that I can save towards retirement, invest it, buy a new car, whatever I want to do. So I'm going to take that total number, 1,141, whatever number appears here. This is the manual, the only time you're going to type in a manual number and not a cell reference. I'm going to put it back into my savings. I'm going to double click on savings so I can see that formula. My cursor is blinking at the end of that formula. I'm going to put in a plus sign, so Shift plus, and I'm going to physically type in my leftover money, 1,141. I cannot use a cell reference or I'll get an error message. So I'm going to type that in and hit enter. And now my budget is balanced. So it is 0. Every penny that I make has somewhere to go. And then you're all done.